And welcome to the new episode of Designs Icon, wherein we bring some iconic personalities from the field of interior designing, architecture, and construction. So, today we have an amazing person with us. She is passionate about this field, she has got a lot of experience. She is the principal architect and interior designer of a firm called Predefine. Let's welcome Ms. Preetu Mule. Let's understand what is her journey into this field, understand from her about different perspectives, and unravel a lot of things about this industry. Hi Preetu, how are you?
Hi Sumit, good. How are you?
So Preetu, I'm very glad to have you in our platform. So let us start with some amazing discussion with you. So Preetu, tell me one thing. How did this field of interior designing caught your attention? How did it started?
I started when I was a little girl. We were getting a house done, typically without a designer. Of course, back then there was no such whole excitement of having a designer, and it was mainly my dad leading it and me tagging along. And I realized those little changes we made. Like it's not like we changed the whole structure, but even those little changes, the colors we changed, or little utility changes we made so much of a change in our lives.
Yes.
It made us so much better, so much happier just being home. And I realized that there's so much technical to it. There's such a aesthetic and technical part to it that me being from a very creative family and very inquisitive, I decided to just delve deeper. And I said, okay, let me give this a shot and let me see how I feel. And then I just fell in love with it.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
So this your interest, your inclination towards interior designing. So did you also underwent any professional course into this, or you practiced in under any architect firm or something like that?
Of course. I've been in this for over 14, 15 years now. I did interior design course from Rachna Sansad and Prabha Devi. But you know how creative fields work is very different from what colleges teach you. Colleges prepare you for the labor work, but the actual experience, what you really learn is from the practical experience, being at site, facing the client. I feel like my learning actually started when I started working. So I work with Ashish Shah, I work with Rajiv Saini, with the DA designs. I did a lot of high-end homes, a lot of high-end homes for the who's who of the country and abroad. And I did some very very interesting restaurants in India as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me like about the first project. I know everyone remembers their first project because it's a lot of learning. There's a lot of anxiety. What may work, what may not work, client pressure. Like how did you handle it? Like if you can tell me some small memories of your first project as such.
So my very first project in life was when I was working with Ashish Shah. We were doing Nisaba Godrej's home, and that was in Mahalakshmi, and we had to do the 44th, 45th, and 46th floors. Okay, I mean like straight 0 to 46 was a big learning experience for me. I thoroughly enjoyed the scale, all to be occupied by 1 or 2 people at the most. And it was all white, and she liked a lot of mirrors, and it was beautiful. It was a very unique house, very very unique. And I was facing the client. I was going to their office. I was involved in every small bit, so I was thoroughly enjoying it. So yeah, that is definitely my most special memory. Like you said, that's how it is. It's like the first baby.
Wow. You have quite a good amount of experience into this field, and being an expert into this field of interior designing, what have you been your three main philosophies to kind of evolve with this field, and like how you evolved yourself into this position as an expert, which you are right now?
I think it's very simple. If you're passionate about something, you're crazy about something, you just immerse yourself into it completely. You just thoroughly eat, live, breathe everything, relating to that particular thing, and then you can't help but absorb every go to every restaurant, go to every house, and observe details. Go to a hotel room and think of, oh, what finish is that. You're just constantly learning and trying new things, experimenting. So I guess once you're just, if you're passionate about something, that's what really worked for me. I can
14 years of time in this field is really a long time, and obviously you have excelled a lot on that. So, tell me something about the industry, Pritu. How have you seen this construction sector or interior designing sector evolve over the period of time? Like what it used to be, what were the challenges in the time when you have started, or what was the scenario different in that time versus what it is today?
So, interior design has actually evolved as a stable profession only in the last 15 years, you can say. Before that, you had like few big companies that were doing all the big projects, and people knew that, oh, if we want to get a place or office, anything done, that's the place we have to go to. But now,
Hmm.
over a period of time, so many offices have come up, so many designers and so many talented designers, not just like a herd passing from college. I feel like I got in at a good time, where it was really picking up, from really nowhere to being something so important that every space you buy, every space you possess, even if it's rented, you want to do it up well. You want it to be professionally done, and I think that's a great advancement from the time that we started, back in college. And I feel like technology has advanced so much to make this happen. We have softwares. So earlier we did obviously hand drafting, which
Hmm.
layman could not understand. They were just too technical for him.
Yeah, yeah.
We now have AutoCAD drawing, digital. Beyond that, you can make this AutoCAD into 3D, which will help you visualize. And now, going a step further, we have VR technology that you can actually walk through your house without understanding a single drawing or house or any property. You want to be able to experience it. So the fact
Hmm.
that it has reached people in a simplified way goes such a
Okay.
long way, right? You want to be more accepting and open, and enjoy the process.
Wow, wow. So obviously, as you said, technology has played a very big role in complete transformation on the client side as such. Can you tell
Yeah.
me one thing? Uh, Interior designing as a profession is a multifaceted role based. Like you have to plan, you have to visualize, you have to be creative, you have to be a project manager sometimes, and so there are a lot of things which adds to get a project done in a proper manner. Out of those, what do you feel are some significant criteria by which you have made your projects successful?
I feel like the first thing I do is make whatever space I'm designing, even if it's a restaurant, or an office or a home, it has to be very highly personalized, very, very
Mhm.
personalized.
Okay.
If it's your home, when you wake up, what do you do? What do you need next to your bed? To how much storage you need in your bathroom? Every single thing, every texture that really appeals to you, it has to be very tailor made. Otherwise, it'll become like a hotel room, right? So,
Mhm.
in an office, I like, if it's an open office, it's something that people collaborate often. If it's a more chill vibe or it's a more corporate vibe, it has to be very tailor made to what product or service you're selling, or the vibe in the
Okay.
restaurant that you want. You be, having people sitting close to each other to feel like a community, or do you want it to be a fine dine, and have your even cutlery, like I'm involved in even the cutlery
Yeah.
selection, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the next thing that I feel really works for my business, is getting into the details. I'm involved in every single thing. Like, I'm happy to even select like doormats, because they're going to be sitting house. I need them to be looking right with the rest of your house, right?
So basically, while the project is ongoing, you have to like completely immerse, as you have said in your opening remarks, you have to completely immerse yourself day in, day out into that project to make it successful. You have worked under architectural firm and now you are successfully running your own independent firm. What do you feel like how you have adapted from different roles? Like you have started maybe from any internship and then you have evolved. So what came first? Was it like designing the creativity part, or was it directly a project management stuff, giving work front in the site? How did it started? Like how you have evolved from organizational point of view?
Of course, it started from a very basic thing where I was, making drawings. But I was fortunate enough to get all kinds of exposure in every place I work. So it wasn't just drawings. Like, I was visiting site from day one. I've been visiting site, which is great because to all your college life you're just drafting on paper and you don't know what it's gonna look like. But role wise, I started doing like smaller, like shared projects and like team projects. I learned how to work with a team, how to work with juniors, how to handle contractors, and then gradually, it was a good gradual progress.
What is more challenging in this field, working with drawings and the technology, or working with the manpower or the project management part? Which you feel is more challenging and it plays an important role as such?
Definitely, it's the project management, hands down, because drawings and design is all in my control. It goes so smooth. That is never a challenge. That's always joyful. But to be, making sure that the contractors are doing their job and doing it right and to the client's satisfaction, it can get a bit, challenging. Yeah.
So, as you said, like interior designing has become a proper profession as something recognizable profession in last 15 years. What do you feel are different scope of an interior designing in today's world? I'm saying from a global perspective. What are the different scope for the interior designing as such?
Scope wise, I mean, any space. It's not even limited to interiors anymore. It's any that you have, outside, inside. You want it to be done right, functional as per your usage. It is our scope.
Starts from planning, when it's like visualizing in the first hand with the client, understanding the client's perspective, and then you move towards actual execution of what has been finalized as per the design. So when you prepare the layout of any furniture, does it differentiate from each person to person, or are there any fundamental principles basis which things are governed, or is it like very personalized stuff?
Two things that I abide by for the layout. One is clean lines. Has to be clean lines. Nothing obstructing the other. Alignments, which is something I'm very OCD about. And second thing is, yes, personalizing in terms of usage again. Like, if, for example, the family is such that they spend a lot of time, like every evening they sit together in the living room. I had such a client. Every evening they get together and like till night they're doing their own thing, but they're all sitting in the living room working on their laptop or printing something. So actually that space became their workspace, their living room, which everyday basis. So I made sure that there was a provision for a printer, accommodation for tables that could turn into work tables, comfort level, economically done.
Is it like clients? When do you feel like how to kind of visualize the client that sometimes they're also confused what will be the end product, and they themselves do not know what they want. Sometimes it happens like that. Even in the families, they have people of different age, their parents, their kids. So like, how do you keep all of them under same page? How difficult is that, and how is your success mantra to get all things under one page?
It's about a residence then I simplify like my questions. I ask them if they like a bright space or a cozy space, a colorful space. Just simplify. Then it's easy for them to tell me, okay, no, we like only bright, or we like lots of wood. So
Uh-huh.
that helps me get a language, and then I make sure that language is carried forward. So, for example, if it's a lot of wood, we could, and some people, in the house, like a particular bedroom likes, colors, then that same wood could be in, say, like pastel colors, but the language remains the same. Also, sometimes when there are some people who really don't, like the rest of the house, the rest of the family's choice, I am completely open to giving them a different room altogether, because it's fine. You're not seeing it in context or in the same plane. This is their space here, so it doesn't have to necessarily be exactly the same. In fact, sometimes it even get monotonous. So it's nicer if it's
As we all know, Mumbai has a lot of space crunch in terms of the flats, what people get by, so what do you feel they have their important concern when they approach you for the project, and when what are the concerns they share with regards to the flat and like space utilization? What main concerns they have?
most common one is that I want lots of storage, lots and lots of storage. Usually, I'm mastered that how to give them storage without making it look bulky or like having this whole, plywood place. That is definitely the most popular thing, because we're Indians. We love hoarding. We love having things. And besides that, everybody wants to make their house look big, obviously. So everybody wants to see how to make it look bigger than it is.
How do you feel Vastu plays a role in, say, residences or commercial places? Like, do people really have concerns? You have been practicing this field from a very long time. What is the significance, as per you personally feel, of Vastu into while designing the flat?
Vastu is also a science, right? It was made, and it makes a lot of sense in terms of when you actually cross check like wind directions, sun directions, you realize that those things make sense. So most of my clients, I think 80% go for basic Vastu, just this basic Vastu, the WC orientation, your gas location, and your bed location, that your head should not.
How about Vastu compliance in offices? What are their concerns when they want to relate to a Vastu thing in their office?
In offices, people don't go all in for Vastu. It's at the most like the location of the owner, the CEO, and WC is also most often is not an option in an office layout. You get what the building is giving you. Offices are now highly evolving, like from the typical closed cabin offices to open offices to community shared offices, co-working spaces. So lesser and lesser Vastu involvement and more people oriented.
So you have studied, you have been studying, and you have studied a lot of interior designing spaces from abroad as well. So what do you feel are the major differences in the way interior designing is practiced and a thought process is being taken in India versus it is in outer nations, maybe Europe or US? How is it different?
It's quite different actually. I think the most important difference is the fact that there, like out of India, people trust their designers a lot more. They have faith. You give them a design and they won't argue about it. They will trust you. They will know that what you're doing, you must have thought through it, and that's how it is done. And the other thing I feel is simplicity. It's very, very hard to achieve. It's something we in India don't have the exposure to or the understanding of. We are a maximalist culture, right? But out of India, if you see places, the most serene ones are the simplest ones, and just the right use of those materials and the geometry really makes them the experience of just walking into those spaces or doing up space is very different from what you ever do in India.
Okay. So as you said about the geometry of spaces, what is the importance of shapes in interior designing or architecture as such? Like for residences and for offices, there are nowadays we are seeing a multitude of designs. Designers play with different kind of shapes and colors as well. So as such, what is your take on using the shapes? How is it used? Is there any science behind it, or is it something more related to creativity?
It really depends. It really depends. I'm a strong believer of, like I said, straight lines and clean lines. So I'm not someone who goes with the curvy lines unless it's like it's a statement piece of furniture. But forms must remain clean, um, and sharp and inviting is what I believe in.
So, Preetu, you have practiced this field for a very long time. You are now experienced and a known designer into this field. The people who are aspiring to become an interior designer, the next generation of people who are aspiring to make their mark into this field, what is your advice if you want to give like two or three specific advices what they should do from like how they proceed into this field, what should be their like major roles, how they take on this field?
I don't think you need to do a course. Learn the softwares, learn the basics, but just go to a site. Just get that hands-on knowledge of everything. How they mix the cement, how the POP is applied. See, unless you know that, you can't play with it. You can't experiment with things. You will always be like, हाँ, POP ऐसे लगता है. You know, unless you know कि वो POP can be carved in any shape. Fill your world with lots of practical knowledge. Work with a variety of people. Work with all kinds of people, and then your taste based on who you like. You know which kind you like. Maybe you like doing offices more. Develop your experience through that, but try everything and then tap onto those things, and you'll have such a strong background. Nothing can shake you then.
Okay, so basically practice, practice, and practice is the success mantra for the people. So people who are listening to this, people do make a note of it. And with that, we are coming towards the end of our this episode. We are really glad to have you on this platform, and we are really sure that we'll be bringing you again for these discussions. Thanks for taking out time, and really have a great day.
Thanks,
Thanks a
Amit.
lot,
Happy to
Teju.
be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.